What's up, guys, and welcome back to ARK Survival Ascended, and this is part 2 of the Is Bob's Tall Tales Worth It in 2025 video. Don't worry if you haven't watched part 1, it's not like you really have to. I'm just talking about two different sections. So, in the first section, it was more basey stuff, where, it was all the crafting benches, and I think I even talked about the Sir Robot, the gene scanner, stuff like that, and the skins. In this video, I'm talking about most of the stuff I didn't cover. So as you can see, we have all three creatures, the Oasasaur, the Cosmo, and the Armadago. We'll talk about them in a minute. We have the Locomotive, the Zeppelin, and then let's go ahead and get into this stuff. Now, these two things are something I thought are kind of cool, but I didn't really know where else to put. We have the poker table, which kind of crashes my game every time I use it, which it's just because I don't know how to use it properly and can't get out of the menu. So it's actually really fun. I have played it before with a couple people, and it's really cool. So love that. Then we have the clock face, I think it's called. Yes. It gets charged after about 7 hours of being placed down in your base, so almost like the tribe tower. And what it does is it speeds up workbench speed. So stuff in your base will be sped up after this cooldown's over. All it needs to be is powered by a gen. I'm pretty sure a tech gen works as well. It's just something that's really cool. So let's get into the next segment. Now for this segment, I have a couple items. First is the stopwatch. Now this one's really cool. You can jump off and then do that, and you'll go back a little portion in time, but it does, as you can see down the bottom right, have a 3-minute cooldown, and it only has about 3 uses, so I'd use this thing really wisely, and only if you mess up really bad. Now next, we actually have the goo gun, and if you actually want to power this thing, it took me a minute to figure it out. You have to kill a creature, go up to its dead body, and hit control, and it starts absorbing it. And then it really only takes like 1 or 2 dead bodies to get up to 100, and then your left click with this is going to be a small ball that when you or other creatures walk over it, it'll give you a little explosion. Then your right click is going to be a charge attack, which you actually throw down by hitting left click again, and it gives you a much higher boost. So you could chain this, maybe get some extra height. It's pretty cool. I don't actually know how much damage it does, but yeah, if you look at that, it's a pretty rapid fire type of thing. Now, third, let's get into the extinguisher grenade. Now, this is by far the biggest one, because this can be used to extinguish any fire. So, take it to the dragon boss fight. Oh, all my Rexes are on fire. Not anymore, because if you look in the bottom right, when you run into that smoke, you get a temporary extinguish effect, which gets rid of any fire effects that are on you or your creatures, which is really nice. And from what I've heard, it can also be used to tame the Pyromane. So instead of leading it to water, you run up to it, toss this on it, and then you can immediately hop on and start trying to tame it after you, of course, deal the necessary damage to it. And lastly, we have the Explosive Spear. It's pretty cool. I've actually used this thing to take out beehives. It's kind of expensive. Has a couple second fuse timer, then it explodes. Very nice. Does some alright damage. It's not amazing, but it's not bad in any sense. So now let's get into the biggest part, the creatures. If I look a little extra glowy to you, that's because I do. When you're standing in the Oasasaur's kind of pool it has on its back, it gives you Gaia's Embrace. Now, of course, you can do it for what it's supposed to. Go over here, throw in your creature's soul, and revive 1 creature a day. But also, this still makes resources. So if you look on the Oasasaur's back here, it will show you the resources it produces. So with that, we can probably assume that's like sand, stone, or flint. This is going to be almost definitely obsidian. We have crystal or silicate. I'm not entirely sure. And yeah, so I believe they can have trees on their back to give you wooden thatch, so it's really just trial and error. Go through which Oasasaur you want. Now, to tame these guys, you have to find them in the desert, start the tame, and then you have to kind of stand on its back and prevent creatures from attacking it. So, most likely it's just going to be all vultures. That's what I've seen in my personal experience. And you're just going to want a good gun. So, a Fab Sniper is going to be the best, but Maybe you could do it with a really good crossbow, AR, or a shotgun. Really just depends on how quick you are and how good you are with the gun. Now, let's get into the Cosmo Aberrations Edition. I love this thing. It is definitely my favorite, as in your inventory, it actually becomes an item when it's your shoulder pet. And of course, you can run off, shoot, and oh, that was a very bad demonstration. If you hold control, or whatever your command for this is, it will start reeling you up, and pretty much just a Spider-Man jump. But let's get into the final one, the Armadoggo. Now, the Armadoggo is definitely the most in-depth one, as if we go into our inventory, our engrams, and then Bob's Tall Tales, it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 different saddles it can have. Not really saddles, but kind of abilities. All of these give different abilities, and I will definitely do a video on what every single one of these does. So if you're interested in that, let me know down in the comment section below. The Armadoggo also can go into companion mode, which pretty much makes it immortal. Now, it doesn't mean it can't take damage. What it means is when this thing actually dies, it just has a little icon in the bottom right saying companion recovering or something similar, and once that timer's up, your Armadoggo will just respawn. So as long as this thing's in companion mode, it can't die, which honestly, if you're going to have a creature on companion mode or have a creature advertised as a companion, that's a really good feature to add in. So let's get into the final segment of the video. Here we are, guys, the final segment where we're going to be talking about the Locomotive and the Zeppelin. Now, the Zeppelin, when it was introduced in AB, I really didn't like it. And I know that's a personal opinion, but that's mainly because the entire focus of the map is no flyers. The best you'll get is the Yeeling's Glide and the Rock Drake's Glide, and then some other creatures with good movement, like the Cosmo. But the Zeppelin just completely defeats that purpose. Throw in gasoline, and oh, you're flying now. And it's pretty much just a Quetzal that you can build on as well. So, yeah, I personally don't like this thing, and I think it really only has its uses on AB, because anywhere else, a Quetzal or something that doesn't require constant gasoline or constant repairing, I ran this thing into something and it just took damage, which is very annoying. But 20k health, I'm sure you could get a Quetz with that. But yeah, so personally, I don't really like this thing, but it can be built on, so it is kind of cool. You could make your own flying base and go in between the layers of AB, or it could be cool for Extinction, going around the city and having different locations that you live at temporarily. So let's get into the Locomotive. Now, Locomotive, it's just a train. Let's be real, it's a train. But I actually like this thing a lot better, because while it is really expensive to build all the track and the locomotive itself and all the cars that go with it, they're really just platforms. It's still really cool. I mean, you could have these go from your friend's base to your base, and as long as you guys aren't too far apart, it shouldn't be too difficult. We can actually go in here and look at the train tracks. I was actually very wrong, guys. That's very expensive. It should not take that much metal, in my opinion. It should be like 50 cementing paste, 25 metal, 400 wood, because it's obviously mostly wood, but yeah, I guess you have that metal railing in the middle. And here's the train cart platform. For some reason, it's almost the exact same price, even though, it's a bit more useful. And then I guess we can get into the locomotive itself as well. Let's go ahead and look that up. Yeah, 1,000 metal, 600 cementing paste, 300 crystal, 500 spark powder, 200 wood. So yeah, personally, these two things, but time for my final opinion. Do I think Bob's Tall Tales is worth it? Yes. But remember, this is coming from somebody that bought it when it only had Scorched. And let's be fair, Scorched was the worst addition for Bob's Tall Tales. Yes, the Oasisaur is amazing, but there's just not as much content. You don't get the crafting stations you get that we got from AB and Extinction. So, yeah, personally, I am going to be a little biased, but let me know what you guys think. Well, I think, yes, it's worth that $30 price tag. It'll eventually go on sale, and you'll be able to get it for a bit cheaper. And stick around, because I might even do videos on the Pyromane and the Dreadmare DLC. So, yeah, stick around for those. I would love to keep making content for you guys. If you did enjoy it, please subscribe. We're super close to 200 subs, and I would love to be there very soon because, it's just nice seeing a number go up. So, if you did enjoy, please leave a like. If you have any questions, comments, or your own opinions on the Bob's Tall DLC as a whole, let me know down in the comment section below. And with that, I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.